I took a class as a freshman at the University of Maryland College Park, and it was called McDonaldization of America. And I have to say, I dropped the class because it had a 20-page paper and nothing else for the grade, and I just didn't trust the instructor. But I did learn something in the 2 days I was in the class before I dropped it, and that was that people like consistency. And one of the reasons everybody likes McDonald's, although many people don't actually really like McDonald's, but when you're driving down the highway and you're in the middle of nowhere and nothing is familiar, and you see those golden arches, you think, hamburgers and French fries. And you can taste them. You can taste them before you even put your money across that counter and hold that warm paper package or cardboard box of burger. And you bite into it and you already know how it's going to taste and how it's going to smell. And that's exactly why you stopped there in the first place, is you knew it was going to be consistent. It was going to be predictable. It was going to be controllable, and it wasn't going to be scary. And people really prefer that. And one of the things the teacher said that I thought was very telling was the fact that if somebody came into a McDonald's and they made it so that on every third Thursday at 2:15 p.m., and it would randomly change, of course, because we needed to be unpredictable, the food suddenly got twice as good. That McDonald's stock would plummet eventually because people wouldn't want to go back. Even though it was getting better, they wouldn't want to go back because you couldn't pre-taste, you couldn't control, you didn't know what you were getting. And this has a lot to do with how I treat misophonia, but especially hyperacusis, which is sensitivity to loud sounds. And it seems like a far stretch to go from a hamburger to sound sensitivity, but just go with me on this one. Children and adults with sound sensitivity do not like being startled. They're very anxious about pain and discomfort. And what they want to know is that tomorrow will sound like today, and that they'll be able to hear in their mind's eye what they are about to experience before they ever do. And the best way to treat that is not by exposing them to things they find traumatic. The best way to treat that is to give them that predictability. So the reason why working with these low gain hearing aids and adding in layers like earplugs on top of them, or headphones, or giving them a microphone so they can choose who they want to listen to and who they don't want to listen to, so that they have control and they have predictability and they don't have fear and they know nothing's going to hurt, it lets their guard down. And by doing that, they get more cognitive resource availability. So what happens is you start seeing changes in the limbic system. You see everything relaxes because they don't have to be on guard. And because they don't need to be on guard and they have more resources left over, when something unpredictable does happen, they are more prepared to have that slack in the rope, to be okay with going with that change and not panicking. And over time, what ends up happening is when we go into the programming of the hearing aids and we look at discomfort levels, their ability to tolerate louder and louder sounds tends to increase. Their range between what is the softest sound they can hear and what is the loudest sound they can tolerate, it goes from being really narrow to quite wide. And it can take weeks, sometimes 3 and 4 weeks, we will see a huge, meaning doubling the range. 10 or 15 decibels more could be the difference in, can you go to the fireworks with headphones? Can you go on a bus ride? Could you go to the beach and the boardwalk, or are you staying home? And that is why a hamburger is like a sound system and treating hyperacusis.